Never met someone like you, felt something like your touch. I wish we would've met tonight. Sure, I've had lovers in my past, won't lie, I've had a blast, but none of them had your humor.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of The Southern Crown. My name is Chloe Dietz. I'm your host, and today I'm here with...
I'm Moran, Miss Texas Collegiate America 2025.
It's so nice to have you here, Carly.
Oh, it's so nice to be here.
Can you start off by telling me just a little bit about yourself?
Well, like I said, my name is Moran. I'm 24 years old. I live in Midtown in Houston. I work full-time as a bridal stylist while also studying business at Houston Christian University. So I'm a busy girl who wears many hats.
Yes, but you handle it all very well. I'm Miss Texas High School America, if you didn't know that. And this past weekend, we had our Queen photo shoot.
Yes.
That was so much fun.
The best time.
Oh my gosh, it was just so great. We love Miss McKenna so much. She's our director.
This is very glamorous.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. What first inspired you to compete in pageants, and specifically, why did you choose Collegiate?
So the first pageant I ever did was when I was in high school. When I was a sophomore, I signed up to do Miss Magnolia because all of my friends were doing it, so they peer pressured me into doing a good thing. And, you know, they say you get bit by the bug, and that's exactly what happened. So I dove in head first after that and competed at Miss Texas Teen USA with no idea at all what I was getting myself into. And I probably looked a little crazy up there, but I was like, you know what, let's keep going. And I think I've blossomed into such a wonderful woman because of pageantry. And specifically Miss Texas Collegiate America and Miss Collegiate America, because number one, there's a Bronco on the line.
I love that.
Number two, I've never been on a cruise, and we, as Miss Texas Collegiate America and Miss High School America, get to go on a sister cruise.
Yes, we do!
Which is so exciting. It'll be my first cruise. She's a pro, so
Oh,
you're
yeah.
gonna give me all the tips.
My 90th cruise, actually.
That, and I just think it's an overall great system in the way that it's ran. You know, McKenna puts on a fabulous pageant. We had a wonderful time. I got to see Princess Diaries for the first time.
Oh, yes. Me too.
So much fun. And I love how they're just so open and honest about everything. You get your scores, you get your comments back, and I mean, in pageantry, if you're not growing, where are you going?
Exactly. I love that. So I would say most people start pageantry from a very young age. So how did it feel stepping in late to the game? Did that have any effect on you?
I did. I feel like I started so late in the game. For teen, I feel like I only had like 3 years there, and I didn't compete every year at Miss Texas Teen USA, but the last year I did, I actually made top 15, so that was super exciting for me. But yeah, I forgot what your question was.
I mean, you answered it immediately. So with Collegiate, if y'all didn't know, it did take Carly a few times. How many times?
5 whole times.
To get the crown.
It did.
So I'm just wondering how it felt to be named a runner-up and get up there so many times, and what kept you motivated to keep going after it?
I actually got asked that in my interview because I had told them, I was like, this is my 5th time competing for this. I know that I'm more than ready to not just be Miss Collegiate America, but to be Miss Texas Collegiate America, because it would be so fun to be Miss Collegiate America, but I always wanted to be Miss Texas first. So this is why it's my first time going to nationals at large.
Amazing.
But the first year I competed, I was still in high school. I was a high school senior, and I didn't place. I, once again, didn't know what I was doing, but I had the best time. So I waited a few years. I came back when I was a little bit older. I was 3rd runner-up, and then I came back the next year and I made the top 10. That stung a little bit. And then I waited another year, personal growth, and I came back and I was 1st runner-up. And that's what I just decided. I was like, we're going all in. So I prepared all year after that. I took no breaks. I did everything I could do. And it worked out. I won Miss Texas Collegiate America.
Were there times throughout that journey, especially what you're saying with just making top 10, where you thought about taking a step back and just not even trying for it anymore?
Well, like I said, after that year I was top 10, I skipped out on the next year. I was like, let's just take some time to self-reflect, learn a little bit more about Carly. Why does Carly want to be Miss Texas Collegiate America? And I think that made all the difference coming back and then being 1st runner-up. Sometimes you just got to take the time to figure out the why.
I love that. This past summer, I competed in Miss Texas Teen USA, and it was my first try, and I will say, I was pretty set on it. I was like, this has to happen right now. There's no other time.
You did so good for your first try.
Thank you.
We should put up a side-by-side of your first try and my first try, and yeah, you'd blow me out of the water.
Well, I did end up, I was 2nd runner-up, and that, you can see in my reaction, I have the video posted on YouTube if you want to see it, but I was devastated. I held it together, but I was devastated. And I will say after that, I had a good month where I was like, I don't think pageants are for me. If this is what this is, it's not for me. But then I had to push myself to go back to it. And I competed in International Cameo Girl for Cinderella, and we took that, so.
And let's normalize being upset at losing a pageant.
Yes, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to want to win also.
Exactly.
I hear people say all the time, I didn't even want to win. It's okay to want to win. You do want to win. It's okay.
I hear some girls do straight up, I've heard stories of girls doing an interview and them asking, why are you ready for this title? And them saying, well, I'm not.
Yes, I have heard that as well.
And so sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches as the results. And you can be happy for someone and be sad for yourself.
Exactly. Okay, so back to your crowning moment. The moment it all happened, I'm sure you spent lots of nights dreaming about what that would be like. How did that add up to what you imagined it to be?
I felt like I was standing in the same place I was last year. I was like, okay.
One way or another.
You know, it could go one or two ways. I'm prepared for both mentally. And people always ask, like, what do you say to each other, like, when you're in that final
Absolutely
two
nothing
moment?
personally.
Well, I know things were said. I do.
I love that.
But all I remember saying is,
it's you. Also that, do you see what we just did there?
that's why I make them hug me. If we hug, you can't fight.
Exactly.
And it looks really cute.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I was like, it can go one or two ways. I know we were talking, but at one point I said, I have no idea what you're saying, or I can't hear you, or something like that, because all I can hear is Austin super loud, because the crowd is dead silent, being like, the next Miss Texas Collegiate America will have the time of her life and have the chance to win a brand new Jeep Wrangler.
And be on a cruise!
And be on a cruise. And now it's a Bronco. It's not a Jeep, but that's fine. A free car.
Jeep to keep.
Bring home the Bronco.
Bring home the Bronco. There we go.
You have it.
Oh, I do have that. There is a Bronco sitting in my driveway.
I pull up to the Bronco Sport and I think to myself, when they ask me, why should I win? Because she has the car I'm going to win.
Yeah, because my teen queen already has it.
My high school has it.
Oh yeah,
it would be silly if I didn't have it. Well, teen, high school,
I don't even know what to say. Okay. So throughout your first year, you had no idea, and taking home the magical crown. How did your preparation change throughout those years?
A lot of coaching. I worked with so many people. I worked with, specifically this year, I worked with Chloe Brown Consulting. I worked with Brittany from Askew Consulting. And I also did a few mock interviews with Pageant Smart, Jorge's team. I did one actually the day of interviews.
Oh, wow.
Before going into interview. And I remember they asked me a question and all I did was answer it. I gave no other context and I thought, wow, this is about to be the worst interview of my entire life. I can't believe that just happened. I'm gonna go in here and act a fool. I got a perfect score, it all worked out, and that's why coaching works.
And look at that. My interview coach is Miss Kelly Sargent, and my walking coach is Mariah Cheney. They're
I
tried
love
and true
Mariah.
duo. I love them. And
Who
on
is
my
this
interview,
diva?
on my interview day too, I always am like sending texts to Kelly, like freaking out. But I cannot do a interview lesson or like any interview
A
practice.
mock interview?
Yeah, mock interview. I cannot do that because it freaks me out so much. Like I'll actually psych myself out, and I've cried before. Like before texting
your
you, I
interview?
sobbed. No.
Oh, like before going into your interview?
No. If I did a lesson the day before I had to leave for texting you, I sobbed. I cried the whole time. Like it was so bad.
Oh, I also did them with Stephanie Skinner. I did mock one with her the week of the pageant.
I did a walking lesson
I did
with
them
her.
religiously. I only did like one walking lesson with Brittany, like in February. And we were like, okay, this is the routine.
Mm-hmm.
I go rent out the dance studio. I do that on my own time. Interview prep though, I was doing at least like 2 mock interviews a month.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot for me. Like mock interviews I don't think I've ever done one actually. Now that I think about it, I do not think I've ever done a mock interview.
This is kind of a mock interview.
Oh. Hi guys. Okay. Do you feel like being named a runner-up, top 10, all that, nothing, so many times, and then finally getting there, do you feel like that made it meaningful, and why, like, what are ways that you've seen that be more meaningful to you?
in a way, I feel like, it sucks not winning, obviously. But working for it so many years, it does make the moment a whole lot sweeter. But at the same time, like, things will happen the way that they need to. I lost all of those years for so many valid reasons. And I won this year for so many valid reasons.
Yes.
The stars will align when they need to.
I so agree. So I have told you this before. I was reviewing all of her tape because I was like, girl, get the crown, right?
Me?
Yes, you. I was looking back at you and I was like,
on Pageants Live?
Yes, and I was like, what is wrong? Like, why is she not taking it? And I quite literally wrote out a list.
Oh, you did?
Of the things that I needed you to change. She did not know about this, obviously. We didn't talk before the pageant.
But you did tell me this before.
Yes. And whenever I watched her, I was like, oh, she has it. Because she fixed everything I said.
I did all
without
the
even
things.
knowing. So.
Because I knew what the things were.
Yes, you knew.
I knew what the things were. Everything happens for a reason.
And on that, do you have any advice for any women who are looking to achieve goals that may seem out of reach right now, pageantry or other related?
Set the littler goals. Like I said, I kind of broke everything down month by month. I was doing at least like 2 mock interviews a month. I was thinking about my wardrobe. Like, I have had deadlines that the pageant sets, but I've had deadlines for myself that I set.
Carly
which are
deadlines.
way far in advance. Carly deadlines. Miss Collegiate America deadline is March 15th. My deadline is January 15th.
And I love that. I would say I have my whole wardrobe picked out for my next pageant.
I just got my interview done.
Already. Yeah. We're done. Oh, you did?
Yes!
I can't wait to see
I have
how
a
this
sketch of it.
Oh, I'm gonna freak out.
And
Okay, I
pictures.
need to see this. But okay.
I know.
You got me off track, girl.
This whole time I was like, man, if I win Texas Collegiate, like,
When?
well, when I
When?
win, because
Yes.
I did. Like, what am I gonna do for my nationals wardrobe? Like, I had already been thinking, so I ordered my fun fashion after nationals.
Okay.
This summer, I was like, let me see what everyone else pulled up in.
Right.
Okay, send in the order. And then, of course, we got to do the Sherry Hill Day
Yes,
in
we
Austin.
did.
It was shopping. And I picked out my gown there. I really didn't think I was going to find a gown. I genuinely planned on wearing the purple one again.
Oh.
I literally
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't think I could beat it.
I mean,
And they were like, try this
I
one.
love the purple one still. I'm not gonna lie you.
No, that's
It's so hard. I don't know how you're making these decisions.
She'll still be in Arkansas.
Yes.
She'll still be there.
Oh yes, she will be there.
Yes.
I know why she'll be there.
But someone else will be on stage.
Yes.
And then for interview, I was like, gosh.
Yeah.
What will I wear?
She showed me her phone album thing later. It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was awful. There was some crazy things in there.
Okay, so I have an album on my phone that's just like interview outfit inspo, and I have to specify that I'm not screenshotting it because I like the whole outfit. I like portions of the outfit.
Okay, she's screenshotting things like, I like this color.
Colors.
Girl, you know what color you like.
I know, but
Colors.
I need when I'm like, hey, can you make this interview for me?
Yeah,
To be able to like, this
a
is the
reference.
color.
Of course.
These are my references. And I didn't really need any of them.
Other than having a killer wardrobe, what is the biggest thing you'd like to achieve as Miss Texas Collegiate?
So, I've already been chit-chatting around about doing some of these things, and yeah, why not talk about them? So I'm trying to bring back the Miss Magnolia pageant.
Yes.
The pageant that got me into pageants does not exist anymore.
And I will be judging.
We cannot have
Just
that.
so you know.
Of course, yes. So I'm trying to bring that back. And then also, I'm also trying to figure out how to implement something called Brave Week into schools or into programs, talking about building respect and values for everyone.
Red Ribbon Week?
Like Red Ribbon Week.
I love Red
Yes.
Ribbon Week!
I actually use that as a comparison. Like
That's
when I'm
so
talking
cute.
about it, I'm like, something similar to the Red Ribbon Week program you might be familiar with.
Yes.
But yeah, exactly like that. So that's what's in the works right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much just my next question was, what are specific goals and initiatives you have as Miss Texas Collegiate? But
There we go.
she got them answered for me. Okay. How has your confidence changed over the years, and how has pageantry had an effect
Oh,
on that?
extremely well improved. No one can tell me anything.
Oh, yes. I feel that.
How has pageantry had an influence on that?
Uh-huh.
I think because it forces you to open up,
That's exactly what I wanted you to say.
especially in the interview portion. I mean, they're genuinely putting you through an interview. They're asking you the hard questions. And then for the stage portions, you are having to show off, essentially, to people who are just sitting in an audience watching.
Yeah, and you have no option. Like, you have no choice. Like, you're backstage or you're waiting for your interview. It's like, oh, well, I'm about to do this and I cannot get out of it now.
And there are people in the audience who genuinely think this is dumb. Like, little brothers.
Yeah, people watching. And I remember, okay, so at Texas Teen USA, the aisle.
Yeah.
Right?
The runway.
Yeah. People at school have been calling it an aisle, I'm sorry. People at school have been saying aisle to me for the past month.
Aisle is in the chairs. There's an aisle in
Yeah, okay, the runway. Sorry, gang. The runway. I remember specifically, there was this guy, I don't know if he was a boyfriend, a brother, a uncle, I don't know.
A man.
Yeah, it was a man. And he was right in the corner, like right there.
I think you should include these.
And I might. And I remember I was walking back from my fitness, and he was literally sitting there like, and then he sees me though. He sees me and he goes, and I was like, I feel special.
The people who are there and look like they're having the worst time of their lives are just as funny to me as the random people you don't know who are taking videos of you. I'll never forget when I did Miss Houston Teen one time. In my evening gown video, there's this woman who is genuinely in the front row, like standing up and cheering for me, and I have no idea who she is.
And I love that.
And I think about it a lot. And I appreciate it, and I wish I knew who you were. If you were at Miss Houston Teen 2018 in the front row,
crazy.
I graduated in 2018.
I'm a high school junior, if you were curious.
I'm 24.
How did pageantry shape your views of femininity and masculinity?
Ooh. I think pageantry definitely encourages a more feminine side of women. Like, I was thinking about this today while I was washing my hair extensions.
So womanly.
A lot of regular women don't do that. Like, that's more on the excessive side of being a woman.
Oh,
so it does push you to be very girly and feminine when it comes to dressing up and doing your hair and makeup.
What messages, if any at all, have you received from pageantry about what it means to really be a successful woman?
When I lost Miss Houston Teen 2018, right, it was rough because I was aging out, and I made kind of like a little social media type rant, I guess.
Oh.
But it was a positive rant. And I said, success is not about reaching the top, but how far you ran to get there.
Aw, that's cute.
And I have lived by that ever since because a lot, like, I mean, if you think about your goal in any sense of the aspect, like, you're moving your way up a mountain, and when you reach the top of the mountain, you've succeeded in your goal. Yeah. And the stories that you tell about getting
the journey there
are about the journey there, not just standing there on the top.
Exactly.
It's the people you met, the things that happened to you, that are the most important part.
Yeah, just like this whole interview that we've done. It's all about your journey to the crown.
Yes.
Exactly. So how has your perspective on gender roles and, I mean, jumping off of what it means to be a successful woman, changed since you've gotten involved in pageantry?
I don't think it's really changed. I think women deserve to be treated wonderfully. I think women deserve to be celebrated. I think that's kind of what pageantry is. It's women just standing up there and sharing their accomplishments and looking really good while doing it. And if they happen to have a man in the audience bringing them flowers, well then great.
Exactly. I love that perspective. And a lot of critics would say, though, that pageantry is something that is deprecating to women. I don't personally agree with this, but I've been doing a lot of research recently around this, and that pageantry is something that makes women feel invaluable because it judges you over your appearance. But I feel like you, as someone who has been around the block, you've done it. And has it made you feel that way?
No. When you think about how pageants were founded, like when Miss America first started 100 years ago,
right,
we were measuring their heads and using that as a scoring system. And today it's a much different thing. Like I said, it's women parading themselves in a way that celebrates them. They're talking about their accomplishments and the things they achieved, and it's an opportunity to brag about themselves a little bit.
Exactly. I love this. Okay. So with that, have you ever felt that your value was tied to your physical appearance or anything like that? And did you feel like ever that your physical appearance held you back in pageants?
I mean, the swimsuit competition does exist.
That is a thing.
So when it comes to pageants that include competitions like that in the fitness aspect. I mean, you look at pageants like Miss America too, where they're just wearing, you know, like athleisure wear, which is still essentially the same premise. I mean, we're judging them on physical fitness, they're just wearing different outfits. So I think when you're judging that portion of a competition, then yeah, your overall physical health does matter. That's why we see swimsuit winners also become overall winners. Because when they're strong in that aspect, they're usually strong in other aspects.
Exactly. Consistently, you're
physically strong, you are mentally strong.
Exactly. And I think that happened for both the teen and the Miss Division this year at Texas USA. Was your swimsuit and your fitness winner was your overall.
It's pretty much a guaranteed top 5.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're there. Okay. So, in what ways has feedback that you've received from judges, coaches, directors, friends and family even, influenced your self-esteem?
I wouldn't say it's influenced my self-esteem because it's all constructive criticism.
Exactly.
I will never forget when Nia Sanchez put in my comments that my tan was too dark. And I took note of that. And did I ever tan that dark again? No.
I bet you
And that was for the best. I mean, was it a critique of my character at the time? Absolutely. But it's to change for the better.
Yeah. What pageant was this?
It was Texas Collegiate America.
When? What year?
The year Kiara Powell won, and my tan was so dark because I worked at the car dealership outside in the summertime.
So you had a good base tan.
I had a farmer's tan, though, so I had to get dark to like
correct.
cover it.
That's
Yeah.
awful. Oh my god.
Crazy times.
Has your understanding of where your self-worth comes from shifted since you were 13, not doing pageants, to now, Miss Collegiate America?
I had no. I didn't know what self-worth meant at that age. I was just living.
Yeah, right.
And then when you get into pageantry, I think you kind of become self-aware of like how you can improve yourself, and it pushes you to do that, even if it's the hard thing. Again, physically strong means you're mentally strong.
Exactly. How would you say that you measure up to your peers when it comes to like being able to look back on things like that? So I feel like a lot of women your age are not as insightful as you. You're forced to look inward because of pageantry.
Yes.
So, I mean, do you find it ever difficult to connect with your peers? I know I do.
I think pageant girls just have a bigger sense of self-awareness in the way especially that we speak, the way we hold ourselves, like just about everything. So I think when we step out of that and we're mingling with like regular world people, civilians that we just like carry that in, and I think we're the ones who are thinking too much about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that I said this, that was the last thing I said on my interview actually, was they asked me what is some advice that I would give to my younger self who struggled with social anxiety, and I said, girl, calm down, take a chill pill, because nobody's thinking about you as much as you are.
It's really not that serious.
Yeah, no one is thinking about your interactions as much as you are, and I mean,
I should have just raised my hand in class.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody cared that you were going to get a Coke Icy.
Unattended child, come get him.
Please! Okay, and this is actually going to be our final question.
We're so good at this.
I know, this was so fast.
Yeah.
I was worried that I wasn't going to have time to do this, and we kind of slayed it.
I don't even think it's 4 yet.
Nope, I don't think so either. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know if you're going to have kids, maybe one day, but if you do, and your younger cousins, whatever, would you encourage them to participate in pageantry?
I encourage all little children I know to
All little
participate.
children.
Well, not all of them, but the ones that I see that are just like already so outgoing
Right.
and confident in themselves, because you can't force a 5-year-old to do anything.
Right. Okay.
They have to want to do it.
Yeah. And like, looking back, like, do you wish that you had been involved from a younger age?
Financially, no.
Right, okay, I see that.
But I was always in competitive dance, so I always had the opportunity to have, you know, the stage time that gives you that confidence, but I think it was the interview aspect and the onstage question aspect of pageantry that's what really pushes people out of their shell.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
It really scares people. Well, Carly, thank you so much for being here today to share your story. If Carly's story resonated with you and you'd like to hear more, you can follow her on social media at
Carly OK or at Miss TX Collegiate America.
just to keep up with her reign and watch out for that Brave Week that she's got coming to us. And if you enjoyed the Southern Crown podcast today, make sure that you subscribe and leave a like and a comment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Get those jitters out.
Yeah.